What if I told you that the Ark of the Covenant, the sacred chest crafted under God's direction, has been found? The Ark, which is mentioned in the Bible, has been the subject of countless mysteries, supernatural experiences, and even wars. But what does it truly mean? And why is it so important to our faith today? In today's Bible study, we'll uncover the secrets of the Ark, explore its incredible history, and reveal the spiritual truths it carries for every believer. If you're ready to discover how this ancient artifact connects to God's plan for your life, watch until the end. You won't want to miss this. Have you ever wondered where the Ark of the Covenant is? What secrets does this sacred chest hold? Why has it been so important for thousands of years? In the Bible, we read about an extraordinary object, the Ark of the Covenant. It wasn't just a box. It was a symbol of God's presence, His power, and His promise to His people. But what exactly was the Ark, and why is it so significant? Let's uncover the mystery. The Ark of the Covenant, as described in the book of Exodus, was a sacred chest. It was made of acacia wood and overlaid with pure gold, a combination that made it both strong and beautiful. The Ark was not meant to be just an ordinary object. It was built to carry the very presence of God. In Exodus chapter 25, verses 10 to 22, God gives Moses specific instructions on how to build the Ark. Have them make an ark of acacia wood, 2.5 cubits long, 1.5 cubits wide, and 1.5 cubits high. Overlay it with pure gold, both inside and out, and make a gold molding around it. Cast 4 gold rings for it and fasten them to its 4 feet, with 2 rings on one side and 2 rings on the other. Then make poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. Insert the poles into the rings on the sides of the ark to carry it. Make an atonement cover of pure gold, 2.5 cubits long and 1.5 cubits wide, and make 2 cherubim out of hammered gold at the ends of the cover. Make 1 cherub on one end and the second cherub on the other. Make the cherubim of one piece with the cover at the 2 ends. The cherubim are to have their wings spread upward, overshadowing the cover with them. The cherubim are to face each other, looking toward the cover. Place the cover on top of the ark and put in the ark the tablets of the covenant law that I will give you. This chest would hold items of great significance: the tablets of the 10 Commandments, Aaron's rod, and a jar of manna. These items were not just historical artifacts, they were physical representations of God's covenant with His people. They served as constant reminders of His promises, His provision, and His law. Let's break down the elements that were placed inside the ark. The 10 Commandments, God's law, which was given to His people, served as the foundation of their relationship with Him. These commandments were not just rules, they were the blueprint for living a life that honored God. Aaron's rod, which miraculously budded, represented God's authority and the chosen leadership of Israel. And then there was the manna, a reminder of God's provision in the wilderness. Moses said in Exodus chapter 16, verses 32 to 34, "This is what the Lord has commanded. Take an omer of manna and keep it for the generations to come, so that they can see the bread I gave you to eat in the wilderness when I brought you out of Egypt." The manna was a symbol of God's faithfulness, sustaining His people even in the harshest conditions. Now let's talk about the lid of the ark, the mercy seat. This was the place where the high priest would come once a year on the Day of Atonement to offer sacrifices for the sins of Israel. The presence of God would descend upon this seat, showing that God, in His mercy, would forgive the sins of the people. Next is the disappearance of the ark. Have you ever wondered what happened to the Ark of the Covenant? How could an object so sacred, so central to Israel's faith, simply vanish from history? Could it still exist somewhere, hidden and waiting to be discovered? Or has its mystery already been revealed in ways we haven't fully understood? The Ark of the Covenant, once the centerpiece of Israel's worship and the dwelling place of God's presence, disappears from the biblical narrative after the Babylonian conquest of Jerusalem. In the book of 2 Kings chapter 25 verse 9 to 15, we read about the destruction of the temple by King Nebuchadnezzar's forces. They set fire to the temple of the Lord, the royal palace, and all the houses of Jerusalem. Every important building was burned down. The whole Babylonian army under the commander of the imperial guard broke down the walls around Jerusalem. Uzaradan, the commander of the guard, carried into exile the people who remained in the city, along with the rest of the populace and those who had deserted to the king of Babylon. But the commander left behind some of the poorest people of the land to work the vineyards and fields. The Babylonians broke up the bronze pillars, the movable stands, and the bronze sea that were at the temple of the Lord and carried the bronze to Babylon. Yet the text is silent about the ark. Was it destroyed along with the temple? Or did the priests hide it before the Babylonians arrived? The absence of any mention of the ark has led to centuries of speculation and mystery. Over time, numerous theories about the ark's fate have emerged. One popular idea is that the ark was hidden beneath the Temple Mount before the Babylonians could capture it. Some believe that secret chambers or tunnels beneath the site may still hold the sacred artifact. To this day, archaeological efforts around the Temple Mount remain shrouded in both intrigue and controversy. Could the ark still rest in the heart of Jerusalem, waiting to be uncovered? Another claim points to Ethiopia. In Axum, a city in northern Ethiopia, a small chapel is said to house the Ark of the Covenant. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church maintains that the Ark was brought there by Menelik, the son of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. While no one outside the church is allowed to see the Ark, the guardians insist that it is authentic. Could this ancient treasure have traveled so far south, preserved in secrecy for millennia? Then there's the idea that the Ark is no longer on earth at all. In the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 19, John describes a vision. Then God's temple in heaven was opened, and within his temple was seen the ark of his covenant. And there came flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, an earthquake, and a severe hailstorm. This has led some to believe that the ark was taken into heaven, no longer part of the physical world, but preserved in the spiritual realm. Could the ark's disappearance from earth be part of God's plan to reveal it in his heavenly kingdom? Each of these theories carries a sense of mystery and longing. Whether the ark lies beneath ancient stones, hidden in a foreign land, or beyond human reach in the heavens, one thing remains clear. Its story is far from over. Its significance goes beyond its physical existence, pointing us toward the presence, power, and promises of God. What if the Ark of the Covenant has already been discovered? Over the years, numerous individuals have claimed to have found the Ark, stirring excitement, skepticism, and endless debates. Could one of these claims hold the key to unveiling the truth about this ancient mystery? Modern claims of the Ark's discovery have captured the world's imagination. Archaeologists and adventurers alike have ventured into deserts, caves, and ruins, hoping to uncover this sacred relic. Some say the Ark was found beneath the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, hidden in chambers deep below the ancient city. Others have pointed to Mount Nebo in Jordan, believing the Ark was hidden there before the Babylonian conquest. These sensational claims spark hope, but with little verifiable evidence, the mystery continues to linger. One of the most controversial claims comes from an adventurer named Ron Wyatt. In the early 1980s, Wyatt announced that he had discovered the Ark of the Covenant beneath the site of Golgotha, where Jesus was crucified. He described a hidden chamber containing the Ark, shielded by ancient stone slabs. But Wyatt's claim didn't stop there. He believed the Ark was directly connected to the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Could it be possible that God orchestrated such a profound connection between the Old and New Testaments? The idea that the Ark could have played a role in this divine moment is powerful, yet Wyatt's claims remain unverified. Critics argue that there is no physical evidence or documentation to support his story. The lack of independent witnesses and scientific examination of the site leaves his account shrouded in doubt. As Christians, how should we respond to such claims? It is easy to be swept away by the excitement of sensational discoveries, but the Bible warns us to test everything carefully. In the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 21, it says, "But test them all, hold on to what is good." Our faith is not based on physical artifacts or extraordinary claims, but on the truth of God's word and his promises. Whether the Ark is uncovered or remains hidden, its true significance lies in what it represents: the unchanging presence of God and his eternal covenant with his people. Let's talk about the spiritual symbolism of the Ark. The Ark wasn't just a sacred box, it was a divine foreshadowing, a shadow of someone greater. Everything about the Ark points to Jesus Christ. The Ark carried the stone tablets of the law, which Jesus perfectly fulfilled. It carried manna, the bread from heaven, just as Jesus declared in John chapter 6 verse 35, "I am the bread of life." And it carried Aaron's budding staff, a sign of God's chosen leadership, fulfilled in Jesus, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Even the way the Ark was built foreshadows Christ. Made of acacia wood and overlaid with gold, it represented Jesus' dual nature, fully human yet fully divine. Every detail of the Ark whispers his name, inviting us to see its deeper purpose. With Jesus, the Ark's role finds its ultimate fulfillment. In the Old Covenant, the Ark symbolized God's presence among his people. But with the New Covenant, Jesus doesn't just represent God's presence, he is God's presence. In John chapter 1 verse 14 it says, "The Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory." The Ark was a temporary representation, but Jesus is the eternal fulfillment. Now, instead of needing a physical ark to approach God, we have direct access through Jesus Christ. When he died, the veil in the temple was torn, opening the way into God's presence forever. The ark's symbolism, though powerful, is no longer bound to a physical object. It lives on in the heart of every believer who receives Christ. The Ark of the Covenant was never meant to be just an object of worship. Its significance lies not in its gold-covered design, but in what it represented, God's presence dwelling among his people. Yet throughout history, humans have often turned symbols into idols, forgetting the one they point to. As Christians today, we are reminded in John chapter 4, verse 24, God is spirit, and his worshipers must worship in spirit and in truth. Whether the ark is found or remains hidden, its purpose was always to direct our focus to God himself. The ark also teaches us about the holiness of God. Living a holy life isn't about following rules. It's about reflecting the glory of God in everything we do. Just as the ark was set apart, Christians are called to be set apart for God's purposes. If this video has sparked your curiosity or deepened your faith, don't keep it to yourself. Take a moment to like and share this video so that others can join in exploring these incredible mysteries and draw closer to God. Also, hit that super thanks button to support our work.